Let's explore the consequences of neglecting prayer and how it can affect our lives spiritually and emotionally. When you stop praying, one of the first things that can happen is the subtle infiltration of pride. This pride doesn't always make an immediate impact, but over time, it can grow like a dangerous weed, affecting every part of your life. Ellen G. White writes, "Pride is a disease of the heart, and its effects are felt in all the faculties of the mind. This insidious sin gradually erodes your humility and reliance on God." The act of ceasing to pray is, in effect, a declaration that you can handle life on your own without God's guidance and presence. Even if you don't explicitly think this way, your actions can convey a reliance on your own strength and wisdom. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us of the importance of trusting in the Lord. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." When you neglect prayer, you are essentially telling God that you can navigate your life without His help and guidance. Ellen G. White observes, "The prayer of faith is the key in the hand of love that unlocks heaven's storehouse." By stopping your prayer life, you essentially give up on the divine wisdom and guidance that God offers. This mindset of self-reliance pushes God out of the decision-making process and places yourself at the center. Without seeking God's guidance through prayer, you end up making decisions about your daily life, relationships, and choices independently. Every choice becomes a declaration of your independence. By managing everything on your own, you ignore the divine wisdom and guidance that God offers. James 4:6 warns us, "But He gives more grace." Therefore it says, "God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble." Pride, when left unchecked, leads to spiritual downfall and estrangement from God's grace. Consider Jesus Christ as our ultimate example. Despite being the Son of God, Jesus maintained a regular prayer life, demonstrating His dependence on the Father. In Luke 5:16 it says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." If Jesus needed to pray, it is a presumption to think that we do not need to, an attitude that reflects a dangerous level of pride and self-sufficiency. Ellen White further emphasizes this, writing, "Jesus was constantly seeking the presence of His Father. This was the source of His strength and power." Pride is a severe issue, and it is often destructive. It equates oneself with God and can even make one a rival to Him. Isaiah 14:13-14 describes this prideful attitude. "You said in your heart, 'I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High.'" This attitude of self-exaltation and self-glorification leads to spiritual ruin and distances one from God's grace. Pride is particularly deceptive, making it difficult to recognize within ourselves. It can sit unnoticed in our hearts, even hiding from our own awareness. Ellen White notes, "The greatest deception of the enemy is to keep us in ignorance of our true condition." One clear indicator of this pride is prayerlessness. When you stop praying, it reflects a reliance on yourself rather than on God, showing a manifestation of pride. Psalm 10:4 states, "In his pride the wicked does not seek Him. In all his thoughts there is no room for God." Recognizing this can help you take steps towards humility and deepen your relationship with God. The Bible is clear about how God views pride. Proverbs 16:5 declares, "The Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished." This scripture emphasizes that pride is an abomination to the Lord. Even if you are outwardly charitable or supportive, pride in the heart is what God sees and judges. Neglecting prayer also means giving up on the spiritual battle we face. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." By abandoning your prayer life, you surrender this crucial battle to the enemy. Ellen G. White advises, "Without a close connection with Christ, we cannot hope to gain victory over the powers of darkness." Satan works hard to undermine your prayer life because it is your direct line to God's strength and protection. He uses discouragement, lies, and distractions to make you feel isolated and unworthy of prayer. 1 Peter 5:8 warns, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." Prayer is a vital defense mechanism, and neglecting it leaves you vulnerable to spiritual attacks. Humility is essential to maintaining spiritual health. Pride blinds us to our need for God, and a lack of prayer is a clear sign of that blindness. Humility opens the door to a deeper relationship with God and aligns us with His will. Micah 6:8 instructs us, "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." Ellen White stresses the importance of humility and prayer in spiritual growth. The path to freedom from sin is through humility. It is essential to come to God with a contrite heart, recognizing our dependence upon Him. Prayer is not merely a ritual, but a profound connection with God that provides spiritual strength and guidance. It helps us navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. James 5:16 assures us, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." Making prayer a priority empowers us to stand firm in spiritual battles and seek God's will. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 instructs us to pray without ceasing. This command underscores that prayer should be a continuous and integral part of our lives, not just a series of isolated moments. It's about maintaining a constant awareness of God's presence and being open to Him throughout the day. As we approach the end times, the importance of prayer and staying spiritually vigilant becomes even more critical. Revelation 14 speaks of a time of great trial and testing, with the proclamation of the gospel being essential. In verses 6-7 we read, "Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, 'Fear God and give Him glory, because the hour of His judgment has come. Worship Him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water.'" This passage underscores the urgency of adhering to God's message and maintaining a faithful relationship with Him through prayer. The end times will bring unprecedented challenges, and maintaining a prayerful life will be crucial in standing firm in faith. Revelation 14:12 encourages, "This calls for patient endurance on the part of the people of God who keep His commands and remain faithful to Jesus." Our commitment to prayer is part of this patient endurance and faithfulness, helping us stay aligned with God's will as we navigate the trials of the last days. Remember that you are a child of God, created and loved by Him. Psalm 139:13-14 tells us, "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." God's love and care for you are immeasurable, and He desires a relationship with you that is rooted in love and mutual affection. This version incorporates Ellen G. White's insights along with biblical references, providing a comprehensive view of the spiritual significance of prayer and its role in facing end-time challenges.